If it had a mind, you could reason with it. If it had a face, you could look it in the eye. If it had a body, you could shoot it. Now, man is no longer the supreme being. The blob. Terror has no shape.
What's up, kitchen table wizards? What's up, deck brewers all over the world? The people have spoken, and apparently the people want goo, stuff, slime, ooze. And I agree, we need to talk about ooze. Thank you for the tip, it was actually a very good idea. I did some research, found this channel, 5 million subscribers. I'm sure it will grow my channel because a lot of people like talking and looking at ooze. Why would people love ooze that much? I don't really get it actually. Should we from now on only talk about ooze in our channel to be successful? Let's not only talk about ooze, let's still talk about casual MTG decks and let's include ooze as our main theme today.
Yes.
So as always, my goal here in this channel to share my brewing ideas, my deck inspiration for you guys to brew for casual decks or modern decks or commander decks or whatever decks you like to play. And I'm going to do that in the color combination green and blue, which is actually one of my favorite color combinations. And if you like green, you probably need to comment on this video and subscribe to my channel because you can have some green on your card market account if you leave a comment which deck you want to see next in the upcoming videos. And at the end of the video, as always, I pick one person at random and he or she will be the winner of the voucher. And now the ooze is coming, so let's head into the deck. Today's deck is under $50, it's full of sticky flavor and it's a bunch of fun to play. Tanya in the edits, give me some nice flavorful music to get this party started and talk about the basic lands. I play 8 forests and 6 islands, and although I didn't find any designs with ooze in it, I can imagine oozes creeping around in this forest and on these mystical islands. Then I also included some evolving wilds, some temples of mystery, Thornwood Falls and one Yavimaya coast. And because we're going to play with counters, I also included a Turn Timber Grove and a Novision Heart of Progress. So these were the lands. Now let's head into the creatures, let's head into the blubber, let's head into the blob. But first, some non-ooze creatures. I play 3 incubation druids, which also work great with the counter team we're having, and 1 Zamek Guild Mage. And now it's blob time!
An old man finds it, touches it, and this is the shocking result.
So we played the old man 3 times in the form of Experiment 1. Scavenging Ooze has become a lot cheaper because it was just reprinted, and I included 3 copies of this great card. I also included 1 Corrosive Ooze against those equipment decks and also for flavor.
It's indestructible, it's indescribable, nothing can stop it.
Yes, it is the inexorable blob, and the predator ooze is indestructible indeed. I include 4 Biogenic oozes. This is the core of our slimy deck. And this is also a great Card to copy with, next slide, the Altered Ego. This card can also get some additional copies. And you can even make it cheaper to cost if you have an Umori out there. And if you have maybe also a Prime Speaker Vanifar, you can just sacrifice the Umori to get another Biogenic Ooze. Now you can also get some other 5-drop creatures like the Acidic Slime against enchantments, but also lands or artifacts. You can also get a Spitting Slime. It's an ooze that copies into more oozes, or a Mitotic Slime. It's an ooze that splits into smaller oozes. And our ooze with the biggest personality is called Experiment Cry. This big blob works well with the Incubation Druid, but also with the Prime Speaker or the Spitting Slime. So these were all the oozes. Now let's also look at some instants and sorceries I've added into the deck. We want to copy our Biogenic Ooze, and we're going to do that with Replicate or Quasi-Duplicate to get more ooze on the battlefield. A great combo is Stony Silence plus the Incubation Druid. Then I also play some defense for our oozes. There's an Inspiring Call, and apparently the oozes will listen when you call, because you will be drawing a bunch of cards and make your blubber indestructible. I also included some counters like Void Slime and Mystic Genesis. Then let's look at some enchantments. I included a Primal Empathy. It draws us cards or makes our oozes bigger. There's also an Ooze Flux to make more oozes. And for the combo win, I've included one Simic Ascendancy. Now this deck has a few cool interactions, and let's look at them. Incubation Druid and Stony Strength work great together. You play the Incubation Druid on turn 2, and on turn 3 you tap it for 1 mana, then play a Stony Strength, then you untap it and get a counter on it. So that means you can tap it again now for 3 mana and play your Biogenic Ooze in the same turn on turn 3. Now of course what you want to do is copy your Biogenic Ooze with Quasi-Duplicate to get even more oozes. So we're already nearing the end of the video. Let's talk about some power rankings and see how the deck does against other decks. This is not the most powerful deck I've ever made, so I gave it a 6. In terms of complexity and consistency, I get a 7, and it plays equally well on offense as defense. I think it's great fun to play, because who doesn't like to win with a bunch of slime, and value for money, it's not too bad either. This is mainly a creature deck that wants to go wide and have big creatures. Now if you go fast against aggro, it's not too bad, because you will create a bunch of oozes who will become stronger very quickly. And also against mid-range decks, this could be a problem, because you have some counters for their mass removal. Now if they're playing a lot of counters against control decks, it can be a problem. And against combo decks, a little bit of the same, but you do have some counter spells, and also you have some oozes that kill enchantments, lands or even artifacts. Now I've included some more cards in the maybe board, so you can choose if you want to change it up a little bit. Ozolith is a great new addition from Ikoria that works great with your counters. And if you like to slam your opponent with Flying Ooze, definitely include the Hadana's Climb. For flavor, you can't miss the Gelatinous Genesis or the Miming Slime. And there are some more counter possibilities in Plasm Capture. A card I also really love in this deck, not only for the art, is Sublime Epiphany. You can use it to counter a spell or an ability, meanwhile return a non-land permanent to its owner's hand, copy your Biogenic Ooze and also draw a card. Huge value this card. Someone who is also going to expect a lot of value is the winner of this time's card market voucher, Mr. Yodel. Love that name. Look at the description below how to contact me. And for you and everyone else, make sure to check out some gameplay videos until next week and keep it casual.